Yes, the people. Hey, you, how you doing? I thought I'd start off with a Saudi 23rd card. So the card is going from, just reading it out, right? AJ versus Otto Wallin. Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker. Hergovich versus Demore. Opataya, Ellis Zoro. Daniel Dubois versus Jarrell Miller. Bivol versus Ramirez. There's more on there. We're going to go through those ones. To start with, Bivol Ramirez. I mean, how much chance do you give him? Not much would be my argument, my answer for that. Not much at all, to be totally honest. Um, but look, I wish him all the best. It'd be good to see Bivol active again. Bivol not having fought for. Actually, let me check that. Bivol hasn't fought for a substantial amount of time. Um, Let me see when it is. Last fight, that can't be right. October 2019. That's not right. It's just 100% not right. Literally, the box record status is inactive because it's been that long. Last fight. Oh, he's fighting Lyndon Arthur. Where have I got my? Oh, he's already fought Ramirez. Well, he won. That was his last fight, Ramirez, a year ago. I'm obviously then Alvarez, which was also 2022. So look, a long time ago is the answer. But so good to see him active. But it's just I think there's levels to this, and he is at the very highest of those levels. So he will win quite comfortably, I would say as well. Um, Moving on from that, Dubois Miller. I want to touch on that. Do you know what? It's actually, hate to admit it, it's actually a really good fight. Dubois, people question his heart. I think rightly so. You know, um, people question his heart about him quitting against Joe Joyce and him quitting against Usyk. Got one sort of hard hit and didn't like it. Didn't want to know about it and knelt down for the 10-second count and kind of didn't get back up. Much like the Joe Joyce fight. So Hart, I'm gonna take this off again. I know it's just keep chopping and changing. So Hart's been called into question. But Jarrell Miller, let's put good fighter, should never step in a ring again, in my opinion. He got popped for every steroid under the sun. Why is he back in a ring? Why? Just shouldn't be happening. Simply should not be happening. Um, it's a joke that it is, but he ultimately, he's got a bit of a yap on him, and he brings eyeballs to the sport and ultimately to this Saudi Arabian card. Do I think he should fight? Absolutely not. Do I think he'll win? I actually don't think he will. I think Dubois will beat him. I think it'll be closer, and that's probably the biggest 50-50 fight of the card, which is big considering you got Parker, Wilder, which is we'll get onto that, and AJ Otto Wallin. So the moment I'm saying Dubois. Then you got Opataya versus Elozoro. That I've never even heard of the guy. No disrespect to him, but Opataya, in my opinion, is the best cruiserweight on the planet. On the planet, I think the only way he'd lose the title. I mean, look, Richard Rackpool, I think, is second in my opinion. Would be a good fight, but I just think Opataya wins. The only way he'd lose would be if Usyk comes back down, which he's not going to, or if Wilder comes down, because Wilder could make cruiserweight, which I don't think he's going to. Opataya walks around. That's not even much of a chance at all. I genuinely one-sided beatdown, early stoppage, first couple of rounds, early doors. On from that, Hergovich versus Demore. Hergovich. Now he's just thing is he's just slowly declining. Like not in terms of his ability, but not in terms of ability. In terms of his opponents, it's just slowly. Do you know what I mean? Because initially he fights Zhang, which I think he lost. I really think he lost. But initially he fights Zhang, uh, who's a very good opponent, right? But loses that. Then he goes on to Dempsey McKean, and he obviously he wins that, but it was close, and he doesn't look fantastic. Doesn't look fantastic at all doing that. Usyk would tear him apart if he shows up like that. And now he's fighting, Demore, and you're thinking, I understand you don't be taking big risks when you got a world title shot, but you've potentially got a world title shot. And well, that said, actually, I think after the Usyk Fury fight, the winner will get stripped of the IBF and it will get given to Hergovic. So kind of get it. But if you're preparing for a potential world title shot, and even if they get stripped and you get the belt, you've got to fight a mandatory or someone of high caliber, potentially an AJ. Why are you lowering your opponents? Why are you going from Zhang down to Dempsey McKean, now down to Demore? Because, right, well, yeah, I get it. Fucking, pardon my French. I get it. It's keeps you get to keep your mandatory spot, and like say if they vacate the belt, I think they're gonna have to. You get first dibs, right? But then you have to fight. Let me find the IBF rankings. Got Hergovic, Otto Violent, Anthony Joshua, third and fourth, right? Sorry, second and third. They're fighting each other. So if AJ wins that, or Violent, but if AJ wins that, he then becomes ranked number 2, which then means if Usyk or Fury, the winner of, has to vacate the belt, Hergovic will then be champion and has to fight his mandatory, who will be hopefully AJ. And Demore is not a warm up or not, you know what I mean. Hergovic isn't Demore is not going to be a good practice fight for that. But I do think he'll get through it, right? Easy opponent. Moving on from that, we've got the Wilder Parker fight. This I actually think is a bigger banana skin fight than AJ Otto Violin. I don't even think that's a hot take. I don't think that's an uncommon opinion. You got Wilder, who's fought barely a round in 2 years, against Joseph Parker, who's had 5 fights? A lot of fights. Granted he's not looked great, but a lot of fights. He's in the Fury camp, so he's got a pretty good blueprint on how to beat him, having been involved in that. And this is really his last roll of the dice. This is if Parker loses this, he becomes like a gatekeeper for up and comers. He's not in and amongst the mix of the big dogs anymore, is he? So you got a hungry fighter who wants to stay involved and has one last roll of the dice, who's way more active against a guy who and a good boxer against a guy who's not a renowned boxer, just has a heavy punch, but ultimately is inactive, and without activity, this is a big fight to try and get some ring rust off of. That said, I do think he'll win. I think Wilder wins it. I think Wilder comes through. Yeah, I think he'll stop him. Probably a bit late. I don't think it'll be early. I don't think it'll be sort of probably 7, 6, 7, 8. I don't think it'll be early. I just think I don't know if Parker's going to let himself get caught early. I don't know if Wilder's going to have the. Sorry, I keep getting a hammer. I don't know if Wilder's going to have the ability to be able to get him out early. Finally, AJ versus Otto Violin. This is the fight I'd say you all wanted. It's not the one I would have preferred to see AJ against Parker, but we've already seen that. But someone like that, do you know what I mean? That said, you got AJ Otto Violin, a fight we've been waiting for him to step up his game. And this is undeniably stepping up his game. He looks good. Violin looks good. He, in my opinion, should have beaten Fury because the fight should have been stopped because of the cut. He needed 47 stitches. Crazy. Should have been stopped. But whatever. Gypsy King gets the rubber the cloth, whatever the saying is. And he wasn't, right? But he comes off a great win against the cruiserweight, not like AJ. But he's still coming off a great win, high in confidence. You can see he was high in confidence at the press conference. He'll be wanting this. He'll be wanting this a lot. Revenge for the amateurs. That said, AJ, he looks like he's pretty riled up as well. He looks like he's going to do anything to prove people wrong, which is what I like to see. Um, he beat him twice in the amateurs. AJ won twice in the amateurs. They sparred a lot back in a few years back now, but yeah, I think AJ's going to win it. Got rid of the ring rust, got a nice knockout, working with Ben Davison. Ben Davison, let me comment on that. I think the reason he's working with Ben Davison isn't because he's left Derek James. People forget Ryan Garcia is fighting in 3 weeks, and AJ can't be second in command to Ryan Garcia 6 weeks from a fight camp. Oh, sorry, 6 weeks from a fight and a big fight. So I think that's why he's going for Ben Davison, because he gets undivided attention, which he won't get from Derek James. And I half expect Derek James to come and join the camp after 3 weeks, not as the head coach, but to come and give his 2 pence. Could be wrong, right? But yeah, I think AJ will win that. I think he will get a stoppage. Otto Valen, I don't think has he got any knockouts? I don't think Otto Valen certainly isn't a knockout artist, right? That's for sure. And yeah, my bad. 26 wins, 16 KOs. But his last 10, I think, his last 10 are win, split decision, unanimous decision, points, unanimous decision, and then TKO. Then his loss to Fury. So, not a knockout artist, right? When was his last? His last knockout win was 2020, so 3 years. That said, he's never been knocked out, right? He's been decision stopped by sorry, not decision stopped. Unanimous decision loss to Fury, and he lost it by points both times in the amateurs to AJ. I think he'll get a job. I think he wants to. I think he wants to put a number on him. I think he will. Late on again, I think probably similar to Hellenius, sort of around 7-8. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, people. Take it easy. Peace.